Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. I'm Will. I'm joined by my co-host over here, the Grease. It's his anniversary.
Yeah, it is. We got to cut it short.
So it's going to be a brief session tonight. But say hello.
Absolutely zero chance for after party.
Oh, yeah. After party's not happening, but we'll get back to that next week. But Grease has an after party to attend to.
There's 2 times that I get to punt for the year.
Punt what? Oh, the after party.
The after party.
I was like, what else? What are you punting?
That was like it was completely a Beavis and Butthead moment. It was just 2 dudes sitting here talking.
What are you punting, Grease?
Oh, I don't know why, but that gave me a super feeling.
It should have.
They talked about in Dare.
Yeah.
Not Dare.
Dare.
Just maybe just counseling.
Home ec.
I think it was just like a couple of older.
We had a class called life management.
How did that work out?
Well,
I feel like I should have taken that.
The whole year was building to like having a sex talk. Instead of having like a whole year of like sex ed, it was called life management. And
coincidentally,
you knew what was at the end of the year, but it like built towards it. So it was like the entire time was like building up to this one moment where they were talking about sex.
And
then it was like this release.
And then they wonder why every April it's just there's just a lot of babies coming in.
Well, I mean, not 9th grade. It was in 9th grade. It wasn't like younger.
Fair. So I was thinking maybe college.
No, I didn't have to take sex ed life management in college.
Well,
I think they were hoping that, like, at least you were somewhat familiar at that point.
Well, they did that in my hometown.
In your what?
In my hometown, in college.
The hometown college?
Like the
community college?
The community college.
Had life management?
No, they had I can't remember the angle. It was some sort of sex talk. I don't know.
All right.
Do you want some benchmark?
No, I'm going to try this Kentucky Owl Batch 11.
Oh, you should. It's pretty good whiskey.
Since it's been open.
It's nowhere close.
No, I know, but I haven't had it since we like fresh cracked it, and I want to see what it tastes like.
Dude, if you need to pump it, just let me know.
Oh, will it pump? This is a Louisiana whiskey. Kentucky Owl, bottled by Kentucky Owl LLC in Lacassine, Louisiana.
It says distilled in.
I know, but they're
they just
operating out of Louisiana now.
Yeah, why did they throw that in there?
Well, I mean, sometimes Grease, you upgraded the old computer.
What do you mean?
This isn't that old one.
Yeah, it is.
No,
this is 100% my same computer.
That's the exact same one.
I can't even plug in half that stuff to my new one.
Okay.
I literally can't plug a single thing. For some reason,
I didn't think the keyboard was black on the other one. On that one. That one.
Yeah.
All right. So we have some things to talk about tonight.
Right.
You said that you're supposed to be gone next week, right?
I am supposed to be gone.
So we wouldn't have a live with you, but I'll go live.
I think you should go live, and I think you should ask.
And then the following week, I won't be. The following week is 4th of July, so most people will be watching fireworks. But
right,
if you want to do like a makeup show or something.
Well, no, I was just saying if you want to see real fireworks. works.
That happens tonight after the show, your after party.
Yeah.
Are you nervous about anniversary after party in your current condition? You're in limbo, per se.
What is in limbo?
Well, you've got one positive test.
Oh, yeah. The first one didn't take.
Yeah.
No, we're good.
Okay.
No, we're good.
Yeah.
She has the fences up.
Okay.
So,
All right.
yeah, we're safe.
Okay. So tell us about we
practice safe after party.
Yeah. I asked you, you said, "Oh, I'm going to be on vacation," or maybe I'm not.
No,
So what's going on?
it's more so leaning towards not
What?
than going on. We have a cruise that we got an incredible deal on.
Yeah, you've been talking about this cruise. You've been pumping it up. He's got his benchmark courage there.
Yeah, like 80 proof water.
Yeah,
it's great.
So what's the deal?
So my wife submitted her passport renewal.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 weeks later, I submitted mine because I couldn't find. I didn't take the opportunity to go get a picture.
Oh,
so I was a couple weeks behind her.
Yeah.
Well, like 4 weeks ago, Lauren gets hers in.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, mine will be here behind. Like 3 weeks before I leave. No problem.
No.
Mm-mm.
Still no passport.
Mm-mm.
Can you go and just stay on the boat?
That's what people have said I possibly could do, and I don't know if that's the case.
Because you should contact the cruise because then, where is it going?
It's Nassau. Don't care to get off.
Right.
At sea. Yeah. Don't care to get off.
Right. Let's hope you stay on.
I was really hoping that you would. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we're in Cozumel.
Okay.
And I had an excursion for that's on this private beach with hammocks. And
however, I would say over not going at all.
100%
versus Cozumel, right?
Yeah.
Like I would contact the cruise company because when we did the Music Boat 2008,
yeah.
I think I had my passport or
no,
it was
you
expired.
You could literally bring your birth certificate. They don't accept birth certificates anymore.
Well, but I never had to use it because I remember them saying if you're not getting off the boat, you don't have to have it.
Right.
So that could have changed. Or that could be a policy because you never had to go through you never had to get your passport.
I feel like to get back into the U.S. is the issue.
Why?
Because anybody in Cozumel could just sneak on the boat.
No, not if you're an American. They wouldn't be an American citizen.
Who's to say? Well,
you have to still provide some sort of identification.
Oh, you're saying my license will work.
Yeah.
I've got the gold star.
Right. That's what I mean.
I took initiative.
I'm saying I don't even have that. I'm saying that if you were to walk up and be like, "Hey, I'm just re-entry into the United States," what are they going to say? You're not allowed to come back in? I think you should contact the cruise company and ask. Is there any hope of it arriving? Is there a tracking number? Or something?
So here's the deal. There, for some weird reason, never knew that Juneteenth was a
federal holiday,
like a bank holiday.
Well, it became one. Last year was the first year it was officially named that. So it was never a federal holiday where banks, post offices, and things are shut down until last year. Yep, yeah. Last year was the first time. So
that was 2021, right?
Correct.
Have no clue what happened that year.
Right.
So this checks out.
Yeah. So the fact that this is only the second time it would have been on your radar of everything being shut down.
Yes.
Checks out. I will give you a pat. I won't say Greece. I can't believe you, because it has not been a federal holiday until last year.
Right. No, it happened. So I tried calling today, and it's Juneteenth.
And no one was open.
And they were like, yeah, sorry, dude.
Someone answered?
No.
Oh, I was about
the
to say,
robot voice.
Robot voice said sorry, dude.
I had to translate it.
Okay.
I actually had to translate it for myself. I
almost did the robot thing from last week.
Sorry, dude. That's true.
Sorry, dude. No passport for you. The Grease will not go on vacation. The Grease will not go on vacation.
Do you always like every last syllable is always up?
I mean, something like that.
Like, how do you start a word and know that that's what's going to happen? Do you add another word?
I am a robot.
yeah, that's high pitch.
Yeah, I know. I did that.
I know.
Yeah. So
it's great.
So that's the thing.
So yeah, so I called. I couldn't get there. I also have to get the passport 3 days before I leave. So
Okay.
I'm.
Why do you have to have it?
I'm literally.
Leave?
It's on the website.
Huh?
It's on the website.
That's what it says. Before your trip, you have to have a passport 3 days before you leave.
No, like for me to verify that I need to rush it because I'm going out of the country.
Oh,
I have to prove. Oh wait, it might have to be less than 3 days. I might have read it wrong.
I'm confused
Because they're not going to expedite it if I have 4 days.
I don't understand.
I don't either.
Yeah.
So
Like you're saying they may not have even processed it yet.
it says processing on the website. That's the
Grease
current.
is driving down to Atlanta tomorrow.
I'm not going tomorrow. Got too much stuff. Wednesday, yes. I could do Wednesday.
Well, here's the thing though.
I
If
could
it's
do
already
Thursday.
if it's already in process, can you then still go like short circuit that? Are they gonna be like, no?
I
dude.
think if you throw enough money at them, they will short circuit whatever.
Really? That's how the Department of State works?
That's how a receptionist works.
Yeah, so Natalie says they will
slip
expedite it if you pay the money. I understand that, but my question is,
Yeah, but expediting is 5 to 7 weeks.
I mean, if it's all, you can go down like get it same day.
I know
in Atlanta,
but I couldn't book an appointment today.
no, but I'm saying right, but I'm wondering if it's already in process. If they're like, no, man, it's already, we can't now undo what you've already done.
I'll just be like, you know what? I lost that passport. Let's get me a new one.
That's
what I would say.
It's right here.
No, I lost it. I have. You know what? I've never laid eyes on it. It's stolen. I'm gonna need a new one.
Yeah,
I swear, if they pull something stupid like that, I mean, I could write a book and sell 1 million copies. And everybody'd be pissed off with me.
Yeah.
Either that, or I just go live one night. You know what I'm saying?
Calling won't work as the place you call can't get updates on the status of your application. I tried. There is a page to check, but it only says processing or mailed. So yours still said processing.
Mine still said processing.
You're in big trouble, man. That's super greasy. That's on brand.
I'm gonna have to figure it out, Will.
You'll pull it together. You'll MacGyver this passport situation.
100%.
You've done it before. I'll see you do it again.
I will say this: I'm going to the Junkies meetup, and I had a.
I think you have to have a passport to go to Michigan.
You do especially that one on the Canada side.
The Michigan on the Canada side,
Yeah.
the Upper Peninsula, the UP. I love that you just said the one on the Canada side. That's great.
So Michigan is the peninsula.
No. No.
A peninsula is surrounded by 3 sides of water.
Sure, but I don't know they call that mainland. I think that's the mainland. The Upper Peninsula is up above it.
But I just thought the Upper Peninsula
sticks off of Wisconsin. Let's take a look at Michigan.
You just want to look it up?
Yeah.
It's
pretty crappy.
I love the fact that I have driven us to look up the state of crap Michigan. Because
it's hanging off of Wisconsin.
Yeah, but that's not that looks like
I'm accidentally listening to their theme song. Something
Michigan's theme song?
Yeah, I don't want to listen to that.
Yeah, look at that garbage.
Yeah, I guess they technically are both peninsulas, but the Upper Peninsula is just the one.
You know what pisses me off is, dude, Wisconsin would look like it had a mullet flying in the wind.
You know what I want? I want a war. I want a war between
Wisconsin better take that crap out.
Michigan. I think Wisconsin would win that battle. Can you imagine like 2024, like war is declared between just 2 states? Everyone else stays out of it. But it's like the National Guards of Michigan and Wisconsin they're like, now's the time. Yeah, we're going to do this.
Do you know that Dan and Sean were traveling to like right here and didn't pay for like a $400 ferry, and so they drove like 8 hours.
That checks out.
I mean,
And by right there, you
for
meant over to
$50 an
Wisconsin.
hour,
Yeah.
like those dudes need to do a bake sale.
Yeah.
Could you imagine Sean at a bake sale?
And
Like how many kids would run away?
oh yeah, it would get shut down pretty quickly.
It's like, freaking A.
There'd be some sort of restraining order. Yeah.
Right. Now, Dan, really nice to kids.
Well, but he would bring his rabbit, and that would also make people be like, this is a weird situation.
Right. Well, here's the deal.
It's an ice cream truck.
The Facebook page for the neighborhood would get the information wrong. And and all there is like Dan has a big rabbit. And then there's a bunch of questionable people showing up, like,
yeah,
hey,
they think it's it's like a furry meetup. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, maybe it is.
It's a furry meetup. And then like, he also is like kind of sort of a bear because he has a side-by-side.
Right.
Because like,
yeah, I got
side-by-sides are attractive to all sexes.
I understand that. I see what you're saying.
I do too.
Yeah. All right. So I read an article this afternoon in the Washington Post, democracy dies in the darkness and all.
Right.
Does
that typically lean conservative?
No.
Just a little bit left.
Yeah, but I mean, this isn't political. This is just completely.
Oh, okay. Well, it had Washington in it.
Well, yeah, it's DC's paper, but it's a national newspaper. It's a paper of record, as they say. So it's owned by Jeff Bezos. You didn't know this? It doesn't surprise me that you don't know this. So this is it popped up because the headline says investors paid thousands for rare wines. It was a scam, feds say. So at first it's like, okay, why are you talking about this wine thing? But
refill bottles?
No, there's even a website. They link to it in the article. Windsor Jones LLC promises the acquisition and sale of the world's most illustrious and pleasurable Bordeaux investment grade fine wine. It also
Windsor Jones is the most pretentious thing I've ever heard.
It has someone talking about the Bordeaux region and that it's become commodity, practically traded now like stocks and shares. But a new court case alleges the investment opportunity was all a part of a ploy. So this guy was arrested for operating Windsor Jones and two other companies, Charles Wynn and Vintage Whiskey Casks. And he was accused of running an international scheme that involved cold calling, fake names, and British accents. So they essentially swindled more than $13 million from at least 150 people. So,
whoa.
Yeah. So they would call
that's $500,000 a piece or something.
There was an 89-year-old man from Ohio and 73-year-old from Michigan, and the 89-year-old dropped $300,000 on rare dessert wine.
Does it say that Michigan guy was Upper Peninsula or mainland?
Or if he was in the Mitten?
Well, we all know that the Upper Peninsula are where the rich people live.
I don't think that's accurate.
No, that's 100% accurate.
No, the UP is known to be like real weird.
Well, yeah, because they're okay.
No, UP's like
they're weird, but they got super big into crypto. They're freaking loaded.
It's the wilderness, man.
Well, yeah, it's the freaking mullet hair.
So this says the Windsor Jones, Charles Wynn, and Vintage Whiskey Cask used aggressive and deceptive tactics on the elderly, whose numbers they obtain. It involved a complicated web of limited liability companies that were supposedly headquartered in the UK, but had been registered in Delaware back in 2017. So this is like one of those companies that, how many of these things have you seen where it's like invest in whiskey, like invest in barrels, put it away. And I always think, I'm like, that's got to be some sort of a scam. I'm not saying all of them are because I haven't looked into it, but someone was at least doing something like that, investing in something that's a craze like vintage whiskey casks and scamming people out of their money. And so my question to you is, are we going to see more and more like that because of the prices that are fetching? Like the fraud within the secondary community, like refilling bottles and things like that, Is it now? Is this a divisional shift into an entirely new level of fraud where people are building fake commodity trading and investment share schemes based off, in this case, what is probably nothing? What are your thoughts?
So you're saying that we are following wine as if like Georgia was following California like 20 years ago, and it would be like 3 months.
Well,
delayed.
they were using both wine as a commodity to trade, and there are legitimate investing into wine like that.
Do you think they baited them in for referrals, and it was legit at first?
I don't know.
Or do you think they ever saw anything?
It doesn't say. But the whiskey investments, it says that so there was basically like someone that they got to flip within the company, and the FBI connected with this guy, or this, because it does say he told agents that he tipped off the investigators. They met, and the individual who was like the head of it did the sales pitch for whiskey investments, telling the investigator the company's employees would only get paid 10% of the profit after the whiskey matured and was sold to third parties. So they were trying to recruit the FBI agent to work for them. And so just this whole thing, it's an elaborate scheme, but it sounds a lot like some of those things that you see advertised, where it's saying, invest in the whiskey, and then you get the profits when it's flipped down the line, when it's sold to a broker.
Do you think Patrick's an FBI agent?
No.
So I feel like he could scam us.
He sticks out too much. Well, I don't think the FBI agent scams you.
Well, they scam the scammer.
Yeah.
You got scamming the scammer, you got to watch out for. Scammers, you know what they look like.
Are you the scammer?
No, I don't scam, but I would be the scammer scam, the scammer.
So you never answered my question though.
What was the question?
Do you think that these schemes in whiskey are only going to get more and more elaborate? Is the whiskey world now becoming sort of like the fine wine world, where there is a lot of fraud, there is a lot of schemes, but there is also a lot of money to be made by people that are investing in certain ways?
Well, I would say that wines have I feel like there's a lot more wine out there that is expensive than necessarily whiskey, because whiskey just shot up here at the end, as if whiskey had always kind of been pretty high in it being rare. But I mean, if you go back 5 years ago, you can get a lot of things for 100 times less.
Sure.
In some cases. So
do you think that there's some sort of crash coming, and that would
no, I think
whiskey's
from
just continuing to do this?
No, I think whiskey's just beginning.
Okay.
For that market.
So then I guess it still stands. I kind of think if the trajectory is still up, prices rising, like a lot of aged spirit going to be more and more expensive to get, I think this is only the beginning. And I see a lot of advertisements for companies like this on Instagram, in stories, like stories ads, like invest in whiskey right now, that type of thing, which I haven't done a ton of.
What's Cascax? Is that a scam?
I don't know. I haven't done a lot of things, but that's what this reminded me of when I read it. And like
Cascax?
I said, because I've seen things like that advertised. Now,
we are not, by the way,
right. That's what I was trying to say.
We are not saying that Cascax.
There is a legitimate way to do that business, and this individual is allegedly, according to the FBI investigation,
he was kind of doing it that model, but
was using that everybody. Exactly. So there are going to be legitimate. No, it's a risk. It's an investment, right? And it's on a thing that has a potential to fluctuate widely, because it's a consumer good that's kind of a luxury item. It's shot up very quickly. So those others could very much have a sound model. They could have a stock that they can get, and they're using the capital from investors to invest in more. They flip it. They're able to pay investors and also take their own cut. That's a model that can work, especially if the prices continue to go up. However, it also opens the door for more people to use verbiage and things like that on this commodity to hustle people. Now, I also think it's really interesting that almost all of the individuals that they were they were targeting the elderly, which is interesting with the whiskey boom.
So sad,
because I feel like it's more younger people. Like those other companies are targeting for their business, not they're using targeted ads and saying, hey, you're on Instagram, you're interested in whiskey, you probably have some expendable income, you're in this age demographic, 28 to 45. They run the ad for you. That would be a little bit different. I mean, that's a lot different. That to me is more like, oh, they're trying to move a business and actually further it. This is them cold calling, like very much like boiler room, old school Wolf of Wall Street kind of cold call. You can make a lot of money. Give us this money because it's 89 years old, 70 years old, 73 years old. And putting in money is like $300,000, $85,000, being told that they'll get 40% returns. Like that's a very classic, like penny stock scam that, you've seen all the movies about. And so I guess that's my big take on it, is that the more the other legitimate opportunities, which I haven't researched and I haven't looked into, because that just doesn't sound like something that I'm like, I really want to roll the dice on. But there are going to be legitimate companies that some people make money, some people lose money. That's the way investments work. But then there are also going to be these people that are targeting an 89-year-old man for $300,000 and are able to get it. That's pretty crazy.
That's an ROI.
They got caught, fortunately, but they are definitely preying.
Yeah, think about it. 13 million. So I'm just thinking of like in the bourbon world, not the Scotch side.
Sure.
Scotch has been kind of crazy for a while. In the bourbon rye game,
yeah.
I just don't see the prices there to warrant, they're probably looking at wine as like, oh, we don't have to have much stock. We don't have to have as much work to get more money out of people. So I think that level of bottle prices would say, at some point they'd be like, okay, now this is worth us pursuing.
Yeah. And that's I'm sure the bulk, based off of reading this, the bulk of their scam was wine related, because there's not as much work to lay a foundation of.
Yeah, you have to wait on it.
Right. Well, and also it's like, it's known that these things can be rare and really expensive. And so I feel like there's less of a hurdle to jump over than trying to convince someone like, hey, whiskey barrel prices are going insane right now, especially if they're not in that community. So, and I don't know the people's backgrounds that they did scam, but like I said, it wouldn't fit that Facebook ad that we were talking about. And yeah, so that's where I think we're going. I think you're getting served an ad on your Apple Watch for something that I got served years ago.
No, Conway texted it.
Oh, nice. I was like, Grease just got served.
He said, Will is starting to infect my feeds too.
Yeah, that was the I looked down and Grease has a suicide-proof prison toilet on his on his arm. So, that's a thing. So that all that to say, I think that's an interesting thing that people should be looking out for as well. Do your research. If you get cold called for an investment, it's probably not worth it. But it popped up in my world of reading today, and I was like, this is interesting. This is a unique take. This isn't just scammers on Facebook anymore, refilling bottles or just taking your money and not ever sending anything. This is a new level of sophistication going after the world.
This is building
whiskey.
A complete business. This is essentially money laundering on an international level.
Wire fraud. Yeah.
Wire fraud. I mean,
between two different countries.
Very sophisticated, and they still got caught.
Yeah.
You have to understand, like, $13 million, 100, but it's a low number.
Well, and that's
it's 150 people. That's what makes me also think, okay, if you divide, what is that? That's going to be like $800,000 per person. Let's just say 150.
Let's see. How many people did we actually say?
That would be 12 million. 12 million at 150. 150 times 8. Just 250 times 8.
Well, I'm just saying 13 million divided by 150 is 86,000 per person average.
86,000. Okay,
86,000 per person average, which shows you that, I mean, there was the 73-year-old from Michigan was $85,000. That's right at the average. But then the 89-year-old doing 300,000 is up there.
Right.
So,
right.
Just something different.
Well, I've appreciated this banter today, and I think it's a very good thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
Bringing, letting everybody get scared that they're going to get scammed.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, Grease, I think you're the only one that has to be scared because you're the one that typically sees an online investment opportunity is like, let's roll, baby.
All in.
Let's do this.
Literally every penny I have into that one.
Do you want to do a 15 real quick? We have about 10 minutes before you.
No, I don't.
Huh?
I don't want to do a 15. I want to get done.
You want to be done? Wait, that's kind of weird.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's literally my 13th anniversary tonight.
Unlucky number.
Unlucky, but let me go ahead and tell you who's getting lucky.
Set you up for it. Boom. Love it. All right, folks, that was a short one tonight, but we hope you enjoyed it. A little banter. Let's do a speedy review. Let's do a speedy review.
Okay, speedy review.
No, do something that's not
Makers 101.
We've done that recently.
Okay. Copper and King's Brandy, Phoenix Barrel.
Yeah, let's do that. It's not whiskey, so
yeah, why
not? All right.
Speedy.
So this is Copper and King's. What kind of brandy?
This is a single barrel apple brandy cask strength from Barrels and Brews.
Smells like a candy
one
apple.
Of my favorite pours of all time.
129 proof.
Yeah.
All right.
I have one more bottle after this.
Cheers to your thing, to your anniversary. And to your thing. All right, folks, go ahead and give us a subscribe and a thumbs up.
Buy Bar Pass.
Oh, bye.
What
was it, like $60?
$60.
Yeah, all day long.
Bye.
Buy that. Subscribe.
That was years ago, by the way.
Leave a comment. Go to oakandthieves.com if you want to join our barrel program. We got 2 barrels that are available right now.
Did you tell them to like and subscribe?
I already said that. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Pray for me to go on vacation.
Yeah, pray that Grease goes on vacation. Oakandthieves.com. We've got 2 new lures. One is the cigarette blend. I've already almost finished a bottle. I'm obsessed. You love
that
with
one.
It is one of my favorite whiskeys I've had in a long time. You can buy that, and also Samantha.
And that's a cheaper one.
Samantha loves the toasted rye. That one is also incredible. Both great. Available now. Check it out, oakandthieves.com. Sign up. Any level. The links are there. You'll be able to purchase, and they'll ship it right out from California, keg and bottle. All right, that's going to do it for this week. We don't know Jack, but we'll drink it.